best grooming products for you, That's all natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help you swagger, style, class, and luxury. Baby got products that we made for you with high quality. So get in style with the black, yeah. Company to give you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah. Black, gentleman, yeah. Company to give you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com. Yo. What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to the Friday Night Chop Session with Stormybman for this Friday the 13th of September 2024. This is number 158 in the series of Chop Sessions, and we are calling this particular episode September Bouts Are Lit. Yeah, we've got a lot of good fight cards in the month of September. For those who are kind of down in the doldrums because they're not seeing who they like to see, don't cheat yourself out of witnessing some of the great matchups that are on par for this month. As I speak on this, I'm not necessarily talking about the main event for tomorrow night, but I am talking about a couple of the bouts that's on the undercard of tomorrow night, as well as the following couple of weekends ahead. We've got some quality cards and matchups. So quite a bit of something to look forward to for us boxing aficionados and for those of us who want to see skulls get cracked. Yeah! So welcome everybody out there. Before we get to the roll call, I just want to share a special message to my brother and partner out here in crime, my brother Drew Titan, who definitely is a mover and shaker out here in the community and who has assisted me a great deal. I want to say thanks to Drew because certain inspirations that this brother gives me and allows me to have my own particular slot of success, and some suggestions come from this brother, and he's very solid in that aspect that he reaches out to help people outside of himself, and that's a commendable act for a man to be able to be that generous and have that in his heart, because a lot of us don't have that. I might have a little bit of it, but not as strongly as that brother. And I like to pay the respect and regard for that. My Tuesday tussle this week had a closeout where I featured an aspect of talking about the father and son tandem of Bill and Devin Haney and the impact that they have on the sport. And Drew was generous enough to get that message to Bill Haney, and he definitely caught wind of what I had to say about their contributions to the sport in the most positive a manner. And you see, when we work together out here, those are the kind of things that can take place and help elevate all of us, not just simply in our position of where we may stand, sit, or be viewing, but also elevating as we grow as a community with the support and love that we pass among one another. So I wanted to thank Drew Titan for that, and shout out to Bill and Devin for what they are doing currently in the sport. moving and shaking, like the brother 78 Sports likes to say. And it all helps out when we contribute and we focus in on what's needed, what's necessary. And that's all I was doing when I did that show Tuesday evening. It was a broadcast that saw me speaking about areas of the sport where we have seen weaknesses, but there's always potential and possibility for growth. And that's what that show was about. And boxing serving up softness currently. And as I spoke my points of that during that show, toward the end there, I spoke about the strength that is not of that subject, and utilize Bill and his son as exemplaries in the aspect of being opposing. So, man, I really touches my heart, and I really appreciate that. And let's continue to build, because we're down here, we have purpose, we have cause, and there's nothing wrong with being able to be humble enough to recognize that there are other people who can contribute. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where my motivation is. Like I said, I've always pressed to produce what I, call my vantage point of quality content, because that's important to me. So, as we get ready for this roll call, let's see who we got in the building this evening. Frank from the land is out there saying salute Stormybman. Shaquila Fields is out there saying salute Stormybman in the chat. Drew is out there saying ready for that slow cooked stew. Real Spill Midwest Boxing Talk is out there saying salute Sensei. And Universal Truth is back with us with those channel emojis. What's good with you? J Man is back. What's happening, Jay? And Mr. Shelton is out there with those Gordon Liu emojis. Antonio MMA is in the building saying salute Sensei. And salute OG Drew Titan. Yes, sir. And everybody else is greeting one another. Yeah, so smash that like button as you come into the building. We've got some things going down this weekend. Some of you are looking forward to tomorrow, where your boxing love of Canelo Alvarez is back, and he's taking on another youthful opponent. Definitely, once again, not someone that we want to see, but he's back, and he's taking on Edgar Berlanga. They had to weigh in today. They made weight, so we've got a fight. I didn't expect it to not make weight, Berlanga is a younger guy, much bigger than Canelo as far as his height. But Canelo may be a bigger man in bone density, because though Canelo is a short guy, a runt is what I like to call him. He's a silverback, wide back, big back, as they say, for those who like to eat, Yeah, so he is out there and he made weight, but he's 5'7.5" with a 70.5 reach, and Berlanga is 6'1" with a 73-inch reach. Earlier today on his show, Drew had a panel of guests on, and everyone was giving their sentiments on how they thought this might play out. I had some thoughts on there that kind of had everybody in stitches and everything. But I believe by the time this is all over, maybe Saul will have Berlanga in stitches, huh? Yeah, we may see something like that. I don't believe he is the man that has what's necessary to take Canelo out at this time. Though Canelo be old in boxing years with 65 fights, he's only 34, but he turned pro in his mid-teens, and he's been out here, but he's had a lot of help, people. Let's just be honest with it. The guy that Junior the Truth referred to as the red-headed cheater, yeah, and he's been that and then some. He's looked to scope advantages over opponents over the years, whether it's been through contractual obligations and whatnot, if it has been through weights and catches of weights, huh? When I say that and it applies to him, it's like where he catches you, huh, off guard and you aren't at your best. Yeah, that's what catch weight means when it's applied to a Canelo Alvarez fight. And then there has been the clenbuterol circumstances, huh, where the tainted meat, yeah. And instead of holding someone accountable, the president of the WBC, Mauricio Sillyman, has elected to waive the levels of clenbuterol, especially when it applies to Canelo, huh? And he could come in with however much in his system that he needs to help him get the job done. Now, what we have seen over the course of his last, let's just say 3 fights, we have seen him move like his feet were stuck in molasses, huh? Against John Ryder, his twin brother from another mother, huh? Against Jermell Charlo, huh? Who, though he brought his roller skates on the night, he didn't bring in the glove weights, huh, that it would take to pound on Canelo and fight back. So he looked lethargic against Jaime Munguia until Munguia kind of maybe tested him a little bit to see if he still had counterpunching abilities, and Jaime found out exactly that. He does still counter, huh? And he hit counter. Let me slow down a little bit. He counter hooked, uppercutted Munguia to the canvas in their fight, huh? And Munguia, the bobblehead, the human bobblehead doll, as I've been known to call him, found himself getting off the canvas, and it was at that moment that Munguia realized, I can't win, huh? Yeah, he had, what's her name? Adrian's remark to Rocky against, Clubber Lang. You can't win, Jaime. And he refused to try to do anything else but survive. Yeah, so this is what we've seen, huh? And Mr. Berlanga, over his last 3 fights against Romer Alexis Angulo, and then Jason Quigley and Patrick McCrory in his last fight, has shown us that he knows how to go the distance and bite people and still get a knockout against a guy that languishes his chin out there for it to be blown up. So that doesn't mean that he has grown, huh? It's still some things that he has yet to learn to be getting in there to challenge one of the stature of Canelo. But it's too late, baby. Now it's too late. Though he really did try to fake it, huh? He tried to come in there as if he is versed. But I think he's going to be made to read the verses, huh? The pages of Deuteronomy, huh? Where he's going to have to refer to the verse of, pushing through when the pressure is on. And I'm not certain he's going to be able to do that. So we got to fight. That's the main event tomorrow night. And then we'll talk about that a little bit more. We got my brother Scrapbook Boxing in the building saying peace to our brother Stormy. B-Man, and all the members of the chat. Love this brother. Keeps educating. Appreciate you, Scrapbook. Glad to see you out there, brother. Salute to you. If you guys haven't had a chance to subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing's channel, just click on his name there. It'll take you right over there. Take a quick moment out and give this gentleman a subscribe. He provides education on the sport of boxing like no one. He says about me, but you know what I'm talking about is in the present tense. Scrap is the true historian, and he is a man worth listening to. So just take a quick moment out, please, and show some love and take it over there to Scrapbook's channel and give him a subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell button to get the notifications for when he uploads. He's got a book coming very soon that he had been working on the past couple of years, and that is really going to show some historical aspects of what the black fighter has had to deal with in the sport of boxing. So if you think that we as a community have been lying to you, wait until you're a well-read person with a book by Scrapbook, and you find out that, oh damn, they weren't lying. Yeah, that's right. So as we get into the fight card that's happening tomorrow night, there's some good fights on that card. Some very good fights. But before we do all that, let's catch up on a little bit of boxing news, Can we do that for a minute? Because sometimes when all you hearing about is shitty cuz, out there bowing out of fights, showing cowardice as he was given the keys to be the headliner in the upcoming fight card that will feature Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. They split the card where it was going to be Shakur Stevenson in the main event, the co-main event, heading up all the fights before the co-main as a pay-per-view card. And that would be pay-per-view on DAZN, and the Beterbiev-Bivol main event was going to be free on ESPN. I don't know if they've shuffled that and made something different as far as an arrangement, and I really haven't looked too much into it because I don't care now. You know, Shakur dropped the ball after the balls were shrunken, as he was led to face what was happening here. I don't know what's going on with guys like he and Tank Davis, man. These guys, what they show us is not the stuff of metal, but it's meddling, because they say stuff in social media and they give the impression to people, but all they want is to fight like 80-20 fights with opponents. 80 they weigh, where they're the 80% to win and the opponent has 20 or less to lose. And I don't like that. They've gotten too comfortable doing that, which is why he pulled out of this fight. They say he got a hand injury, but they even put up a video for you guys to see the hand injury. And I'm going to tell you, I've never seen a more horrible sense of acting in a ring as when I watched that video footage. I may as well have never been shown that footage, you guys, because what I saw, he hit the guy to the body with a solid body shot, and then a split instant later was like he hurt himself. Then he slowly turned and went to the canvas, but he braced himself as he went to the canvas with the same hand, bracing himself to go to the canvas that he supposedly hurt. If that hand was hurt, he would not have put any weight on that hand before rolling over to his tush and laying on there writhing in pain, shaking his arm like, oh, my right hand. You know what, man? If you don't get all the way the hell out of here with that BS, total bull crap. Then they take a picture of him smiling in a hospital ward with some scrubs on or whatever, the hospital, you know, with that little gown they give you or whatever. And what looked to be like a ace bandage on his hand laying in the hospital bed. Man, get out of here, bro. I've talked about this young man, and I called him Shitty Cuz. And I had just begun to stop referring to him as such. And then this happens. But you know what? He is forever Shitty Cuz. That's how I was looking at him when I saw those images of him in the ring sparring and then the photos of him in the hospital bed. No, you're not fooling me, man. I've watched hundreds of boxers. That's fake. I'm going to tell you what happened. He heard us talking about Joe Cordina, giving Joe Cordina real props. And I'm going to say this, you guys. It was me giving Joe Cordina props because I put a different spin on the story that nobody had really picked up on. But Joe Cordina, who had been a super featherweight champion, he had been struggling at the weight for his past 3 to 4 fights, but he kept fighting. And earlier this year, when he got upset by Anthony Kakachi after being fouled by Kakachi, and he never really overcame getting hit on the break, because that's what happened with the foul. The ref was breaking him, and Kakachi hit him with a shot, and it hurt Cordina, and he wasn't given time to recover from that. So he ended up getting stopped shortly after that. But he had been planning to move up to lightweight anyway. And because Cordina is a tough fighter, he's not like Oscar Valdez. He's a better fighter than that. What people were reading is that, oh, Shakur is this great boxer. Oh, he should outbox Cordina easily. But hold your horses a minute, please, when you talk about that. Because Cordina is a tested fighter. His record of 17-1 with 9 KOs. You know, Shakur got 9 KOs, right? But the thing about it is, Cordina has been in tough. When he won the super featherweight title back in June of 2022, Cordina had knocked out Kenichi Ogawa, a Japanese fighter who had been blowing people out. And Cordina stopped him in the second round. It was an upset of the year type win for him as he took the IBF title from Ogawa. He went on, he defended that title a couple of times until he ran into Kakashi. When I talked about them fighting, I said, and Drew can back me up on this, I said, wait a minute. Cordina is a good fighter. It's like, cause see, American fighters don't watch those UK guys very much unless they're fighting an American fighter or one of them is fighting on an American card. But Cordina is the type of fighter, he's going to give Shakur pressure and he's going to fight. And if it gets to 12 and he survives that, Shakur may not get that decision. And I talked about the fact that Cordina is a Hearn Matchroom fighter. Shakur just signed to Hearn and Matchroom. And if you looked at how they've handled Bouts Ennis over these past few weeks, you looked at how he handled Madrimov against Crawford in that promotion. He was really pushing Madrimov as if Madrimov was a miniature Triple G, which he was not. But that's what he sold him as. And he was telling everybody who would listen that Madrimov was going to knock out Bud Crawford. But Madrimov never took any risk against Bud Crawford because he didn't want to get knocked out his damn self. So he's nowhere near a Triple G. And you have to also realize that when Hearn makes these matches, whomever his matchmaker is over there, those fighters get put in tough. And it's your fight to win. Now you couple and factor that information that I just shared with you about Cordina facing Shakur in a fight that was switched to a main event, no longer the co-main, but the main event of the pay-per-view. And Shakur has never been on pay-per-view. Not even close. And then to be headlining outside of the US in Saudi. We're talking Olympics style pressure for him. For a straight out boxer who doesn't have power, who doesn't knock people out, and who has been heavily criticized over his last couple of fights for not going for it against opponents who alleged brought punching power in the ring against him. He played it so safe in each fight that people were kind of concerned. And they were like, man, why is Shakur not even trying to mix it up? So you couple all that up together, and he has the WBC title. And let me just say this about the WBC title. They don't want no chumps holding that belt. They want somebody that's going to represent. And even if you represent, but you're not a Latin fighter, they're going to keep throwing opponents at you until you lose and give that belt up. Or you vacate it and move away. I am telling no lies here. There's a lot to be said, people, and I don't think Shakur was up to the pressure. He likes to talk a good game, but I'm telling you, when it comes to facing in the ring, he puts it to shame. He is not that guy. He is not. There are fighters out here who would have chomped at the bit to get that opportunity to be the headliner of the co-main on pay-per-view, because that means all eyes on you. This is an international opportunity for people to look at you and say, wow, I didn't see this guy, but I see him now. And guess what? I like what I see, or whatever. When can I see him again? And how about this, people? Turki Al-Sheikh is paying far more than he would have ever made in any other fight he fought. He may have been making more than any fight, all of his other previous fights put together. Yes! So do you see why I'm coming down on his career? He makes shitty statements in social media. He makes shitty moves outside the ring, socially, wanting to be everybody who is a potential opponent, wants to be all of their friends. And lastly, he runs from stiff competition inside the ring. I'm sorry, but not sorry. You cannot give credit to a fighter that fights like that. See, I've said this many times. Boxing is a fraternity. There are fighters who know what I'm saying about him, and they will agree 1,000%, but they won't say it publicly. Because that's one thing that they don't like to do, is they don't like to throw dirt or sand or dust on one another, because they know it can come back on them or whatever. But if you walking right and upright, you don't have to worry about those things. I got my monitor on and it's Holyfield and Tyson playing in the backdrop. This is on YouTube somewhere. Nothing that I've said to you all is a lie. Nothing. And this kid, Shakur Stevenson, has blown it. I'm going to tell you something. Turkey may not let him fight on one of his cards in the future. Especially if he hears information like what I'm talking about. Because it reeks of someone who don't have the heart to go through with what he needed to go through. If he had fought anyone, it should not have even been a person to look at like Joe Cordina. He should have been running it back against Edwin De Los Santos, because that's the fight that people feel like, okay, you say your hand was hurt, but rematch the guy. You won a decision, but that guy's a knockout puncher. Give him another shot. And the closer we got to this main event, the more he started feeling the heat and the pressure about the possibilities of Joe Cordina, who could have been highly motivated for this opportunity after his loss to get right back at it and get another title shot at the higher weight that he prefers against a guy who you don't have to worry about him knocking you out. We watch these things take place. But see, there's too many people kissing behinds out here. Content creators who won't tell you the truth because they're bought off. They're bought off by people. Well, can you just talk that person down a little more and talk this guy that we're rolling with or supporting or throwing our support behind up, talk him up a little more. You ain't got to worry about Stormybman doing that foolishness. It's something to think about, I'm telling you. They sat up here, they heard what was being said. They was like, damn, some of these content creators out here are smart enough to see the play. Yeah, because we follow. We follow the sport. We follow what's happening. And we're not following a particular guy. Didn't Bill Haney say it was a publicity stunt with Shakur wanting to fight Devin? He didn't want to fight Devin. That he felt that Devin was too much too soon for him. And it would have been okay for him to say that. But remember, what he has said opposing to that is he thinks he's the best boxer in boxing. Well, it's kind of hard to see it, isn't it? Because he won't fight nobody. Fighters who are looking to prove themselves jump at the opportunities. Even if the money may not be what they want it to be, they are willing to take a risk at times so that if they do persevere, the money can be doubled, if not tripled, when they come back. Because it's like they took that chance and they bet on self and they won. Devin bet on himself when he went over to Australia to become the undisputed lightweight champion, the youngest in the history of the sport in the 4-belt era. He didn't have to do that. There were people, even a part of our community, that was advising him, oh, Devin, don't do that. They're trying to get you, man. It's like they're paying you far less money. You got a rematch clause that's one way. If you beat the guy, you got to fight him again in his home country again. You know, they're trying to keep you under wraps by giving your dad a hard time in the country and this and that. So Devin was like, I want to be the undisputed champion and I'm going for it. Manning up. And you got all these people out here when he was totally wronged in his last fight against Ryan Garcia, and they're showing hate and vitriol for him because he actually legitimately accomplished something in the sport that none of them can contest to. Tank can't do it. Devin did it on his own. Ryan Garcia couldn't do it. You got Shakur couldn't do it. Don't forget, Shakur lost his belt on the scales when he was super featherweight. He lost his belt on the scales. It's like he quit. Don't let that curly hair and them dimples fool you guys. You need to know what you're looking at. Nothing that I have told you all since this live started is a lie. Nothing. When you're talking about fighters like these two men, Tank Davis is now how old? 30? Some of these guys were prospects when Tank was winning his first world title. You know, Tank never sought to unify. Tank never sought to fight the other best in the division, the other titleists, or the other top contenders who were contending for the other titles that were outside the one that he held. So how is he the best? Devin comes into the division and takes all the belts on, like Drew Titan said, on Tank's watch. On his watch, he took all the belts. And all Tank is doing is talking in social media, talking and putting the guy down and saying all this stupid stuff, putting out edited videos and stuff of their sparring from many years ago when Devin was a teenager. When all he had to do was say, hey, let's get it on. Two brothers that can make money and make history facing each other. The lightweight division was at one time a glory division in boxing. And these two on the screen here, they had a chance to come together. Nothing. Nada. Instead of fighting each other, they started talking about other people. Tank was talking about Loma. And of course, Shakur was supposed to go after Cordina. And neither of those fights happened. Loma told Tank, I ain't feeling you. And Shakur pulls out against Cordina. But I guarantee you, if it was another Oscar Valdez or someone of a lower status in the sport in that division, Shakur would have went on through with the fight. I guarantee you. But this is what we're left to deal with. Yeah, shower monkey business. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Monkey business. Yeah. Yeah, Chiquila, you hadn't seen that one before, have you? Uh-huh. Yeah, Stormy got he got a few of them for you. Yep. Yeah, it's like we sit up and we watch these guys. And it's like, man, when they gonna get it on? When they gonna do their thing? And nothing ever comes of it. Nothing. Whole careers go. They end up having car accidents. They get thrown in jail. Huh? They career-ending injuries. They retire. They get arrested. You know, it just, I mean, come on. I'm tired of it. I don't know about you guys, but frankly, I'm really fed up with the foolishness, man. And it's bad enough that they leave you like this when you watch their fights. Fighters like Shakur, he out there fighting, huh? Round 9, round 10, round 12. And you look in the camera pans in the audience and everybody looking like this. Even his best friends, huh? Bud and Andre Ward and all of them, they sitting in there, you know, can't barely keep their eyes open. You guys know I ain't lying. But they your friends though. You know, when somebody told these guys, hey, Shakur is going to be headlining the co-main on pay-per-view in Saudi, it was like this. Yeah. But this is what all they got to do is fight. Just fight. We don't need to see all your social media pictures and your posts and all of that. We just need to see you in the ring. I knew they were setting us up for something because I told Drew, I said, look at that. Did you see that sparring footage that they showed him early in the week? He hit a dude in sparring and wobbled him or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. I know something going to come of this. And next thing you know, he hit a guy to the body and he hurt his hand. Oh. What's that cartoon where the lion got the splinter in his toe and he was like, oh, and then the mouse came and pulled the damn splinter out of his toe and they became friends or something. That's Shakur Stevenson, huh? My hand hurt. Man, if you don't go sit your ass down somewhere. We watch boxing for the battles, huh?
This is Sparta!
Yeah, all this foolishness, man. Had people salivating thinking, oh, this is going to be a pretty tight card. We got the guys in the main event that's going to be free. Okay, and Shakur got his first pay-per-view. You know, that's all good. That's all good. See, I'm going to tell you something. Shakur adopted an adage, you know, my guy, the teacher, Roger Scare, he say, fuck around and find out. Well, he opted for Roger's other saying.
And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out.
That's Shakur Stevenson right there. He's never gonna find out. See? This is what you gotta say about these guys. Shame their asses, huh? Because their asses have no shame, huh? He said, I'm just gonna lay back here and chill. Yeah. They told Shakur he was gonna be in that main event. He was like, and we in Saudi? They said, yeah, man, you ready for that? He was like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. When they walked away, Shakur was like trying to figure out, but he heard these little voices in his head, huh? Because, you know, he tried to lay it on you that he's Puerto Rican, huh? He Puerto Rican. But, you know, it was he got a couple of phone calls, you know, prank calls when they announced that he was going to be the main event. And when he answered the phone, they wasn't saying too much, but he couldn't understand because it sounded like it was one of them Saudi guys talking to him on the phone. And he was like, who is this? Who is this? They kept calling him, but they called him in the middle of the night. Because, you know, he's still training here in America, right? He answered the phone. It's like 3 a.m. You know, he's like, man, who the hell is this calling me? And on the other end of the phone, this is what he heard. He went to the gym the next day and hurt his hand. He said, fuck that. If I never fuck around, I'll never find out. Yeah! Hey, where Milk Dud Head Bradley at to talk about this? He been off the scene, ain't he? He ain't had nothing to say. Shakur done totally embarrassed Bradley. Totally embarrassed. Huh? Bomac, all of them. They like, man, you know, anybody try to ring their phone, this goes straight to the number you have reached. Please leave a message. But you know what we all say, man. Frankly, it's just one thing.
This nigga's scared.
But getting back to the Canelo card, there's some good fights on the undercard of Canelo and Berlanga. One of the fights that's on there is the return at super middleweight for Caleb Plant. And he's taking on, what's his name? Trevor McCumbee. McCumbee is a guy that's been fighting like third-rate opposition, but he's a strong punching fighter. And if Caleb lets this guy get off and tee off on him, Caleb could end up in some trouble because the guy is a good puncher, snapping, thudding punches. But this is a big step-up fight for him. So he is the opponent in this fight, but if Caleb is in there with the wrong type of mindset, it could turn into a much rougher fight than he may want it to be. Now, McCumbee is like 31. Caleb is 32. They both are 6 foot and 6'1" with 74-inch reaches. But something tells me McCombie is going to give him a good fight for a minute. Because out of his 28 wins with no losses, he's got 21 knockouts. A guy that's knocking people out like that, you don't want to give him a chance to hit you. You don't. And we know Sweet Hands likes to play the tough guy. But you better not be trying to play a tough guy getting there, in there against a guy who could crack. Don't do that. Also on that card is a welterweight fight where Romain Villa, you know, that guy that took on Bouts Ennis, and Rashidi Ellis, he's back. And he's taking on a guy named Ricardo Silas Rodriguez. And Rodriguez has a record of 19-2-2. So, you know, Villa hasn't fought since he lost to Bouts Ennis. And out of that 19 victories, he got 14 knockouts. So he's from Mexico. He can punch a little bit. So it remains to be seen what's up with Villa, you know. Will his confidence still be up for that loss that he took to Ellis? I mean, took to Bouts Ennis. But Villa got 26 fights, 26 wins and 24 knockouts himself. He's from Colombia. That's a good fight. Because I think those guys are going to be banging. Boxing and Barbecue, does he have a motor? From what I've watched, I watched a few of his fights. They're on YouTube. There's a few of his fights on YouTube. He gets rid of guys, but he's been fighting like third-rate opposition, knocking them all out, you know, but he's strong. And when you got a guy that's like that, if Caleb doesn't do the proper things within the first couple of rounds and makes this guy feel like he belongs, it can become a tough night for him. And somebody pointed out something to me about this card. You know, Canelo is the main Mexican on this card. There's a couple of Mexican fighters on here that are like, you know, opponents. But yeah, I just want to see some good fights, man. Or Holyfield beating the crap out of Tyson. And of course, you know, you guys got Rolly Romero is coming back. Super lightweight bout. He's taking on this kid, Manuel James. And that kid is from California. He's 16-1-1 with 11 KOs. He's another guy that's been feasting on third-rate opposition. And if Rolly can't beat this guy up, it shows that Rolly, you know, because a lot of people feel like Rolly should not have been a world champion either. I just realized how many years it's been since I watched Tyson and Holyfield. I haven't watched this fight in almost 20 years. One fight that a lot of people want to talk about on this card is Lara and Garcia, man. I don't think this is going to be a great fight by any means. I think after a couple of rounds, you're going to see Erislandy Lara light into Danny Garcia. Because one thing Danny Garcia does when he gets up to the elite level of fighters is he loses. And I think one of the reasons why he loses is he's too busy trying to protect himself and not letting his own hands go. Lara's going to let his hands go. And if Danny is caught being vulnerable in any position, Lara will knock him out. But it's going to be a tough fight for Danny because Danny's going to have to make up his mind at some point during the fight. Does he really want to fight Lara? Lara being the elder statesman, he's going to have to, he should try to make him fight at a faster pace. But will that work out for him? I don't know. Yeah, but listen, we were talking about Lara being the elder statesman. Danny is 36, you guys. He's an old junior welterweight. Fat at 154. Fat. And how about this? Lara is a southpaw. So that left hook might be less effective against a southpaw than it is against an orthodox fighter. And let's not forget the super featherweight. Stephen Fulton is out there taking on Carlos Castro. That's another good fight. Fulton hasn't been in the ring since he lost that fight to Monster Inoue last year. So he's a year and a couple of months out of the ring. He's got to get back into the mix. He's got to get back into the mix. Yeah. Let's see. I'm putting a poll up here for you guys. Let me know what you think about this poll. What round do you think Canelo and Berlanga will end? Nobody's picking a decision yet. '88, what's good with you? Hey, listen. Nobody thinks it's gonna go a decision, huh? Frank from that land. Listen, the only thing about that is this. Berlanga isn't as sturdy with his character as Mungia is. Canelo gonna pound on this guy, man. They showed Erickson Lubin beating him up in the gym, so I'm like, okay, that was Erickson Lubin, 154 pounder. So a lot of people think somewhere between 4 and 8. That's probably a good bet. Shakers and Dice says till the 5th round, then it's over. Yeah. What he's going to have to worry about is Canelo not fighting hard for the early part. It's like he may be thinking Canelo don't have nothing or whatever. And then when Canelo turns it up on him, salute to Shakers and Dice. Welcome to the Todai membership level. Stormybman Storm Trackers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah. But I think I'm going to turn it in early, you guys, so I can get my rest for tomorrow. It's going to be a big evening of fights. I do have Canelo winning, though. It won't surprise me in any fashion unless it was a first round knockout. If it's a first round knockout by Canelo, then I would be like, dang, that's amazing. But, you know, I don't think it's going to be something like that. But I do expect him to prevail. Yeah. So we're going to hear from my man, the Focus Ball.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
Yeah. You guys gonna have to get you some of that Stormybman merchandise, or get you a Focus Ball or something. Or don't forget to go over to the Black Gentleman's Grooming Company. where you can enter the code Stormybman and get 10% off of your purchase. As an official ambassador to the Black Gentleman Grooming Company, when you come over around these parts, Stormybman will definitely play some of that commercial advertisement so you guys can get charged up. Get on over there and show some support to the Black Gentleman Grooming Company and my man Focus Ball. But yeah, we're gonna get ready to get on up out of here. Release you guys to your weekend, and I hope you guys enjoy the fights tomorrow, and we'll be back with a post-fight show. And I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. Let's keep doing it. Peace and blessings to you all. Have a great weekend.